guys have done. You guys just like a week and a half ago did
Yeah.
a live YouTube show. Um, man, how was that?
Yeah.
That was your first show of the year.
Yes, it was, and we were so excited with this year because we had so much aligned. We were
Hmm.
supposed to tour with Metallica,
Yeah.
which I'm a fan, Metallica and Great of a Fleet, and we were supposed to do the Demi Women festivals in the U.S. We were
Hmm.
supposed to system, and then we got a YouTube stream, and that was the first one. But yeah, it was interesting experience. It's pretty different because you don't have the feedback from the crowd.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's kind of it's kind of weird, but it's better than not to play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was an interesting experience.
Is there a chance that those shows, I mean, obviously the festivals here, there's only really so much you can do. I've heard that they're going to try to have similar bills and lineups for
Yeah,
next year, but the Metallica tour, though, please tell me that's going to happen still, like in
yeah,
21.
yeah. It really looks like it will. They postponed to December, and they
Oh,
they
okay.
still have the same cities. Actually, they were considering even add another date, and still have us and Greta on the bill,
Hmm.
and they just pushed everything. And I would say they will push it again because unless
Hmm.
there is a vaccine like next month, right? Which doesn't look like. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to push it again. And since they already sold out almost all of the dates, I think they will keep the bill.
I would hope so. I mean, I feel like they almost have to because I mean, for one, Metallica fans, if they bought a ticket to see that band and they don't get to see
Yeah,
that band,
yeah, they
yeah,
will see it whenever they have a chance.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And they were supposed to be on the festivals over here as well. I mean, on pretty much all of the ones that you guys were going to do here,
yes,
Metallica was on those
all
too.
of them. It
Yeah.
was like we were playing same nights as Metallica, all of them.
Oh,
I think they're gonna. I think we've our management is really close to Demi Wimmer, and I think they're gonna keep the same lineup just
okay.
whenever the pandemic is gone,
Yeah. Whenever,
or most of
whenever.
it anyway. Yeah.
But it's you guys also had to push back the album release, but it's coming out later this year. Are we looking at like fall or winter?
Yeah, actually, what we did is we decided to slice the release in three parts,
Okay, I was going to
and
ask about that with the
yeah,
EP
yeah,
chapters, right?
yeah. Actually, the original plan was release the first single around the same like I think the same week as the first Metallica tour date,
Okay.
and we were supposed to release the single then, and then release the album I think 1 week before we would go to Europe to tour with System of a Down. And then when we saw things getting canceled, we were like, what should we do? So we just pressed pause because we were not sure if is this something that it's going to go away in a couple months? Is this
Yeah.
something that's going to be around for I don't know a year, 2 years?
Hmm.
And then when we realized that this is not going away soon, we were just like, yeah, let's replan what we do because now we not only don't have the chance to support the album live, like it's not only that, but we need to keep releasing stuff during
Yeah.
this time because we got to keep the ball rolling. So
Yeah.
we figured out that the best thing to do would be to slice the album in three parts. We did the same thing with the first album, by the way, but
Okay.
the first album was kind of how it played. I mean, we recorded a EP and then we released that EP and it went pretty well. And then we recorded another batch of songs, and then we thought let's just release two more EPs, and then the third EP becomes like the full album, right? Like we just add everything that we released before, and it becomes an album. So that's we done that before. It worked because with the new DSPs situation, it's good to keep having releases.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's what we decided to do. We said, yeah, let's just slice it in three. So we already released the album name. It's The Dance Between Extremes,
Yeah.
and the first EP it's called The Dance, which we
Yep.
already released. Second one will be The Dance Between, and then the third one, The Dance Between Extremes.
Oh shoot. Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool. Nice. And I love the songs
thank you.
on the first chapter. Obviously, that's one thing I was going to ask though is if you decided to do the EP and split it up to kind of since you can't tour, to really find a way to stay in front of fans and
Yeah,
really stay out there and really just kind of stay relevant to where you don't kind of drift away and fans forget about you. And then two
exactly.
years from now,
Exactly.
you're
Because
back
if
and fans didn't know
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's it. I mean, we gotta keep the ball rolling. Otherwise, we just release all at once, and then what we have next, you know. So
Right.
yeah, we have to be creative, man, during these times. That's why
Yeah.
we did the YouTube streaming, and which went pretty well. And now we also shot. What we did is the whole band test for COVID. So we entered the studio and we were there for like 4 or 5 weeks rehearsing, and then we also shot a bunch of studio live sessions, and we are editing that now. It's gonna look really good. So it's gonna be another visual material that played live, you know, like
Yeah.
we are playing like most of the first album and all that we released of the second one. And we're gonna release also some. I would say they will look like TV shows in a
Oh,
sense. They
okay.
will be like the band performing live in
Yeah.
studio, and then some content of past tours, you know, some other stuff going on, and then some more live performance. Yeah, gotta be creative.
One thing I really like is the video that you guys did for Life Porn. It really, in the beginning, talks about the effects of social media and really kind of how that's really, it's turned into something, it's backfired from what it was originally supposed to be. You guys
Yes.
talk about the mental health of people that get addicted to it and all that. I mean, how important is that message, especially in today's world, when
Yeah.
that obviously wasn't what you meant for that to really be that
Oh yeah,
relevant?
we had no idea the
Yeah,
pandemic was going to happen when we
yeah,
wrote the album, and not when we chose the how to say when we choose the album name. We didn't know this was going to happen because it's the album name sounds like so perfect for the moment, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
we didn't have anything that in mind. It was just what we did. But about Life Born, it's funny. I was just talking about this with my girlfriend, and it's an interesting thing because the social media, I don't think the problem is the social media itself. Like
Hmm.
if you use it to connect to people you love and to learn, you know, and to have a good time,
Hmm.
if that's why you use it, then great. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful tool. I learn a lot from social media.
Hmm.
I have family abroad, so I see them all the time there. The problem is when you use the social media to compare yourself to think that things and people that don't really exist, right?
Yeah.
So to like for example, for women, they keep looking those Photoshop bodies on social media, and they feel like they're not good enough because their body doesn't look like theirs, but those bodies are not real too.
Right.
So if you use social media to compare your life to other people's life and feel miserable, and like if and anxiety can come from it, depression can come from it because you think you're not good enough. That's the problem. So it's not about the social media, it's how you use it. That's what I would say. So like be alert how you feel when you look to the content you look at, and double check if you should be following those accounts, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And The Call is another one. I think The Call might be my favorite song so
Oh,
far.
I
The
love that
video,
song.
yeah, the video is badass. The video for Now is even cooler. But can you talk about The Call and really what that song is for you guys as the guys that wrote it?
Yeah, I love that song,
Yeah.
man. And yeah, I think I remember when we wrote that song. Actually, when we start, because we have this very organic way of writing music. It's really like the five of us. It's really like one animal. You know, it's five pieces of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So usually the way we write music, it's like one of us gets the ball rolling with an idea, and then we share, and then we evolve from there, you know. And with The Call, I remember when we started, actually we started writing it here at my house, and I remember that Raphael brought he's one of the drummers. Both
Yeah.
drummers play guitar really, really well.
Yeah.
So Raphael brought this guitar riff idea, and then I a part of it, the only like a little part of it, it's what we have in The Call's guitar riff. But when I heard it, it was like, man, there is something in there. was like because the riff goes boom, boom,
Mhm.
boom, to panonano, boom, boom,
Yeah.
to panonano, panonano. The only thing he had was the panonano, panonano. So it was like a real metal riff, like it was like really heavy, and I was like, no man, I think we should like make it more groovy, you know. And then I did the boom, down, and then I heard, I think we have something good in here, and then like fast forward a little bit, I wrote the chorus of it, the guitar harmony of the chorus, and then Raphael was like, oh, I think we can fit that with that other riff. And then we showed to Jonathan, and he immediately, Jonathan is amazing with melodies, so he immediately came up with a melody, which became the chorus.
Nice.
And then something funny happened actually, because there's this breakdown, the bam 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 bam. It's funny because when we showed that the song to Jonathan, we didn't have that part, and Jonathan, he was like, I feel like we need something like this, but we didn't really found it. And then when we showed it to Jean, who is the other drummer, he immediately played that section. Like, it was funny because we were looking for something like that, right? So
Right.
it was like a puzzle we were putting together, and then we had everything ready but the lyrics, and we felt like, okay, this song, I think it asks for like a lyrics of freedom, you know, of this feeling of freedom. And man, the biggest freedom you can have is the inner freedom, right? Of
Hmm.
being in peace with yourself and allowing you to be however you want to be. So that's what the lyrics are about. You know, it's
Oh, that's
about
awesome.
finding the peace inside. You know.
That's awesome. And you just touched on it a little bit. You guys, one thing that people love is the fact that you guys switch roles when you guys play and all that. You guys can play you put each other's roles and switch it up. How often does that affect
Yeah.
the songwriting process?
Oh, it's part of it. It's completely part of it, because the way that happened, I think it's always good to explain how that they come to happen. That come to happen was how did they came to happen. Sorry, it was, we were, when we started a band, we didn't have a bass player, right? And Jean, who is one of the drummers, used to play in Sepultura, so he left Sepultura, and he said, let's start jamming. So we started jamming, and then we didn't have a bass player. And then Raphael, who is a dear friend of mine for many, many years, he's an amazing drummer. He turns to us and he goes like, I want to join the band. And I was like, man, but you already have a drummer. I mean, how are we going to do that? And he said, I don't care. I can play bass. So he joined the
Nice.
band as a bassist. But we all know Raphael is an amazing drummer. That's what he
Right.
really is, right? And then at some point we were writing one of the songs of the first album, like really, really in the beginning of the writing process. And then Raphael goes, and then Jean is an amazing guitar player. He brought this really cool riff, and he was like, Raphael, can you jump into the drums just so we see how it sounds, just so we can write this song. And then I grabbed the bass, Raphael went to the drums, and we wrote that song like that. And
Nice.
when like after 6 hours playing in the studio like that, we were like, it's sounding so damn, it's sounding great like that. Should we just like try to do it live like this? We weren't even thinking about recording an album back then. And then we said, fuck yeah, let's do that. Let's face the challenge, let's try to do it live. And from that moment on, when we are writing, we don't really care who's gonna play what. We don't really care. We can be writing a song with everyone grabbing a guitar, and then we develop the song, the harmonies, and then at some point, one of the two guys go to the drums and start the drumming part of it. So that's how things flow.
That's awesome.
It's really cool.
Um,
It's really cool.
yeah, and the visuals, the music videos are so visual as well, and so active, which really matches the energy of you guys when you guys do play live. But
Thank you, man.
how important is it to have a good visual with the music video to go
Yeah,
along with the song?
yeah. Nowadays, it's like everything. It's audiovisual, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's YouTube, and I think
Hmm.
I think I know that YouTube it's the platform where people most listen to music.
Yeah,
They
it
listen,
seems like it.
people
Yeah.
listen. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a big number. I don't remember the number right now, but I'm pretty sure people listen more music on YouTube anywhere else, than
Yeah.
on anywhere else. So it's like it's really important. And since that became a reality, we also feel like the video is part of the art, the body of work, So we face it like that. It's like we are very careful with the concept of what we film, with how it looks, because we feel it's like it's part of the art we are doing, right? So it's a lot of work. It's a challenge as well, because it's more work. It's
Yeah.
not just about the songs anymore. It's about the videos too, and the concept, and finding the right person to direct it. And of course, it's more investment. So it's a bigger challenge, but it is as it is.
So are we looking at more but for the near
More
indefinite?
videos. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that I was going to say more like live streaming and stuff, like more videos, more
Yeah.
live streaming.
Oh yeah.
We're just getting started on putting music out for, the
Yes.
different chapters and all that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have more videos. We actually shot. We shot like I would say 80% of the next video
Oh,
already.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and I really like the concept. I think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like it too. It's
Nice.
it's looking amazing. And so we did that. Like I said, we shot I think 5 or 6 sets in studio, like studio sessions. We're gonna release that as well. And yeah, we're gonna keep releasing a lot of visual content for sure.
Nice. And then live streaming like YouTube shows,
Yeah.
did you guys like that experience, or is that something you
Yes,
guys,
it was it was different. It was
yeah,
different, but it was especially, of course, it's like it's a different feeling than
yeah,
being on
yeah.
stage, right?
It's
For so
different
many
for us
reasons.
too.
Yeah, it's different, right? And it also it stays there forever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the pressure there is a little bigger, because you're like, okay, I need to play this very right? I
Yeah,
can't get any note wrong, because it's
right.
gonna be there.
Yeah,
In a live show, if you miss one note or another, it's like, okay, that's not what we aim for, but if it
right.
happens, it happens, right? So
Yep.
there is that little pressure element there, and we are a little we are very concerned about playing right and
Yeah.
sounding right and on
Yeah.
tune. Our tunings are different tunings, so we have some songs in A sharp, which is pretty low tuning, so that can be tricky with the tuning of the both guitars. So there's
Yeah.
all those challenges that are in the back of our
Mhm.
minds. But when we finished the playing, when we finished the set, and we grabbed the laptop to see the questions and to talk to people, and then I saw there were like 2,000 people online, and then I was like, that's dope, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
2,000 people at home
3,000
watching
so
us.
far.
Yeah. It's crazy, and so it's a way to connect. But for sure, if the pandemic, look, I don't think there is a tour happening
No.
before a vaccine, right?
No.
So if there's no touring, I would say if we can't see a vaccine out till the end of the year, we're probably going to do more live streaming,
Gotcha.
and we'll try to be creative with it. We'll try to be a little different, and learn and make it interesting. For sure, play new songs. So yeah, let's have fun with what we can, right?
Right. And then do we have a date or a time frame for when the next chapter EP might
Yeah.
hit, or when we can see that coming?
Well, we don't have we really don't have the official date locked yet.
Sure.
The label had some ideas, but I would say around November.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would say. So
Awesome.
we have the new video done. We have more video content, but until then, we're gonna keep releasing stuff, like
Right.
videos, live sessions. We're gonna keep releasing that.